This guy writes, the girl I asked out on a third date said she'll let me know by today if she could, but never texted me. What does this mean? So he's been on 2 dates, asks for a third, gets ghosted basically, or at least delayed response. Okay, and what I teach, and actually what I've kind of recently adopted, just based on applying it myself and getting results myself and kind of looking at what works and what doesn't, is to just completely eliminate the notion that she's not texting me back for a long period of time, for the purpose of manipulation, that she's not interested, or that she's playing games. And so I would say at those pickup stages and those early dating stages, I'd probably say the first 2 dates, I would not interpret any kind of distancing her, like if she like ghosts you or doesn't text you back for a long period of time, as those things: manipulative, her not interested, or her playing games with you. I'd take note of them, and it's like, okay, I'm noting these things, what she's doing, but I'm not going to react in a way that's like I'm gonna blow up, or I'm gonna get upset, or I'm gonna double text, or I'm gonna check what's wrong, or I'm gonna write a Reddit post because I don't know what to do. I'm totally going emotionally unglued. It's like, just separate yourself from that, basically, that fear, really. And because, and why do I do that? Why am I doing that now? Well, it's because when you have those reactions, those emotional reactions, and even thinking those things, then it makes you behave in a way that just basically takes way too much action, when the reality is, it's like, if you just back off, you have a pretty good shot at getting a date with her, compared to if you're saying, hey, what's wrong, or double texting, or being like pissed off when she texts you after, she doesn't text you for like a day, full day. Those things, it's like those, so many guys talk themselves out of getting that first date because of those things, but really it's just in your head going on. And so I would recommend that you don't even interpret those that way. You just have that basically mental barrier, and I say, like, okay, I'm not going to let anything like that get to me, and I'm not going to interpret it in those ways. I'm not going to go to those assumptions. But then after the third date, at that third date stage, is like in this kind of situation, I would say that it's a sign of her low interest, and so she's not really feeling it with you. And that's when I'd get into the zone of, she's not interested, she's playing games, she's manipulative. Yeah. So with that, let's get in the post. I've already recently asked out a girl for a third date, which she said she wanted to, but didn't know if she'll be in town that day, which I understand. Dude, she gave you a response. She said she might not be in town. So it's like, well, give her that space. You say something like, well, when you figure it out, let me know, or get a hold of me, and we'll make something happen. And then you back off and let her make the move. The ball's in her court. She said she would let me know by today, but never texted me. Is this a sign she lost interest? Well, is the day over? I wouldn't jump to that conclusion, because it's like, when you jump to that conclusion, you start taking just stupid action that turns her off, that forces her away. And it's just like, it's all in your head. And sometimes what you'll find is, like, her situation, she might be out of town. Maybe she's busy. Maybe she's out of town. Maybe she's out of service. Maybe her phone's on silent. And then all of a sudden you do like double texting her, like, what's wrong, having these blow ups. She checks her phone. She's like, what the fuck? And then she backs off, and you start chasing, and then it's over. And so, I just wouldn't, on this one, I would just be very careful on making these assumptions. I would take that as a hint, but I would not take that as absolute truth. Update, she texted me this morning saying she forgot to let me know she couldn't. I just responded, no worries, I'm 95% set on just moving on, but the last 5% still waiting to see if she responds with another day. If not, oh well. Yeah, I mean, you want to have that kind of, oh well, I'll be fine if I move on kind of attitude, but also you might want to just not burn the bridge. For one, don't get upset that she does something like this, but also you might give her an opportunity and just leave the door open. So, hey, if something changes, or if you want to get together, reach out. Otherwise, stay in touch, or something like that. That just kind of opens the door and gives her an opportunity. And you say, hey, if you want a date, basically, get a hold of me. And so you've stated your terms. Now you've set up basically a negotiation standpoint where you've stated what you want, and then she can either accept or decline, but now you're backing off. And it's like, if she reaches out, then you say like, oh, well, I'm assuming from my last text, I'm assuming that you want to get together when you're free. Boom. Now you set it up, and then you set a definite date, and then you progress through the dating process. So yeah, I mean, don't assume if she ghosts you or doesn't text back for an extended period of time in those beginning stages that means something, and just don't make it into a bigger deal than it is. Oftentimes, it's like if you just do nothing, basically in those situations, you get the result. You get the result of getting her on a date. So I've got my fundamentals here. You can get for free in the product section. Description down below. These paid products more specific, and I'm also working on one that has comebacks, and so that one's getting pretty awesome. I'm really having fun making that one, just kind of laughing at the responses that I've kind of accumulated over, like, I don't know, probably over a year, just like watching relationship videos, books, TV. If you ever watch a show like Billions, the responses, the comebacks on there are just phenomenal. And so it's like, if you ever want to take notes on something like that, either get that product when I put it out, or watch that Billions show, because it's like, it's just awesome. But I've accumulated like a year and a half's worth of comebacks on how to just kind of maintain that emotional center, maintain that strong response. And so I'm organizing them all into this one product. I've got 15 pages so far. I don't know, I'm like maybe halfway or so through. But anyway, that's coming up, and I'll see you soon.